Luminous Recaps presents stories that are entertaining, stories that are exciting, stories that are captivating. Luminous Recaps presents shocking stories, stories that are worrying, stories that are confusing. In this channel, we look at human incidents, events, occurrences that leave us wondering, forcing us to reflect and imagine, forcing us to muse on the diverse human situations. We bring alive experiences and evoke a wide range of emotions on a weekly basis. Let us experience this one strange story together. Let us sit by the imaginary fireside and relive the horrifying actions of a former police officer, a woman, and a mother. One person who crossed the divide. They say in English, there is a thin line that divides good from evil. She developed into a symbol of darkness, extinguishing the light which existed in her family members' lives. This is the continuation of the story of Nomia Rosemary Ndlovu. Nomia Rosemary Ndlovu was responsible for the death of 6 people who were her victims. Her first victim was her cousin, Madala Witness Womu, whom she arranged to be killed in March 2012. Madala was found dead in Oliphant's Fontaine, and Rosemary benefited 131,000 rand in insurance. Her sister was killed in a different manner. Audrey Somisa Ndlovu was found dead, and an autopsy revealed that she had been poisoned and strangled. That was in 2013. After killing Audrey Somisa Ndlovu, Nomia received 717,421 rand in insurance. She had killed her sister by poisoning her tea. That is how calculating Rosemary was. Her next victim was Zanele Mota, who was found dead, beaten to death. Rose received 119,800 rand for her niece's death. There was nothing to stop this cold-blooded murderer. In October 2015, she organized the murder of her boyfriend, Yingwani Morris Mabasa. He happened also to be the father of a child. He was stabbed 80 times and dumped in Oliphant's Fontaine area. She received 131,000 rand in death policies which were in his name. In 2017, Mayeni Mashaba was found dead in Oliphant's Fontaine after meeting Nomia the day before he was killed. She murdered her nephew and Audrey's son, Brilliant Mashego, in January 2018. It is alleged that he was last seen alive on 22 January 2018 in Nomia's company at a place called Bushbuck Ridge. She collected as much as 1.4 million rand after the death of all these people. How was he arrested? Her murder spree came to an abrupt end in March 2018 when she hired a man and an undercover police officer. Both were ordered to burn her sister Joyce and her children in their house. She was unaware that she was being recorded. When she was eventually brought before the courts of law, Judge Ramarumo Monama pronounced the conviction in Palm Ridge. After a 3-month-long trial, she was sentenced to 6 concurrent life terms and a total of 30 years. What were the 30 years for? The 30 years were for fraud accounts, incitement to commit murder, and attempted murder of her mother. She was convicted of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, and fraud of clientele, Old Mutual, Asupol insurance companies. She was found guilty of attempting to murder her own mother. She was a heartless woman. During the 3 months trial, the prosecution team pointed out that she conveniently arranged funeral policies for her relatives, then plotted to have them murdered. Nomia used the knowledge she gained in the police force to tamper with the crime scene where the victims were murdered. This was a vain attempt to defeat the cause of justice. Throughout the trial, Ndlovu maintained that she was innocent and accused the 50 state witnesses of lying. The prosecution, however, produced adequate concrete evidence that she had indeed been in contact with the victims before their deaths. This was more than coincidental. Afterwards, she benefited from the death of these people. The state therefore proved beyond reasonable doubt that Nomia was a cold-blooded killer. She, according to state advocate Rihanna Williams, conveniently nominated herself as the beneficiary. This she did in order to cash in on the life and funeral covers. Her gruesome acts shocked audiences and readers in South Africa. Her apparent composure as the horrific charges were attributed to her was testimony of her cruel nature. But at the end of it all, justice prevailed. She was found guilty and sentenced to life. She belongs to jail, and her acts will linger in the memories of victims for years to come. Thank you for watching this second and final episode of Rosemary Ndlovu's Callous Murders and her benefiting from funeral and life policies that she had arranged in the name of her relatives and boyfriend.